Welcome back to the Pro Ticker Podcast. You ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Today we're putting on our investor hats and taking a closer look at political investing.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. And we're not just talking about any politician.
Oh.
We're talking about the intriguing investment moves of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, we found this fascinating YouTube video breaking down her investment strategy.
And what did this video uncover?
Get this, it focuses on her recent interest in a cybersecurity company called Palo Alto Networks.
Palo Alto Networks, huh? And what makes them so special?
Well, first of all, her investment isn't exactly chump change.
Okay, so how much are we talking about?
Try somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million that got our attention.
Wow, that's a considerable sum. I'm definitely interested to hear more.
Right. And here's the thing. She's primarily buying call options for PNW, not directly buying the stock.
Call options, you say. Now, that's a detail that always piques my interest.
And ours, too. It gets even more intriguing when you consider her history with NVIDIA.
Ah, NVIDIA. Now, that's a name that gets investors buzzing.
Exactly. The video draws a parallel to her past investment in NVIDIA, where she also favored call options.
And if memory serves me right, those NVIDIA call options turned out to be quite profitable for her.
They did, which makes you wonder if she's onto another winner with PNW.
It certainly begs the question.
So, for those of us who don't spend all day analyzing the stock market, what is it about Palo Alto Networks that caught her eye?
In a nutshell, they're a major player in cybersecurity. Think of them as the digital protectors of businesses and governments.
Okay, so they're kind of like the internet's bodyguards.
Exactly. Protecting against the ever-growing threat of cyber attacks, which, let's be real, are only becoming more frequent and sophisticated.
It's a jungle out there in the digital world.
That's why the demand for PNW services is skyrocketing, making them a potentially goldmine for investors.
I'm starting to see why Pelosi's interested. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The video suggests her position on those high-level congressional committees, specifically the ones focused on national security, defense, and technology, might be playing a role in her investment decisions.
Now, that's an angle I hadn't considered.
Right. Because think about it, those committee positions give her access to information that the average investor, well, doesn't have.
It's true. Things like details about upcoming government contracts, new cyber threats, and basically a heads up on national security priorities.
Basically information that could directly impact a company like PNW.
You could say she has a bit of an inside track.
Exactly. And that's where the video starts to delve into the ethical considerations surrounding her investments.
Oh, yes, the ethics of it all.
Because if she's using that kind of insider knowledge, wouldn't that be considered, well, insider trading?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one that a lot of people have.
So is it legal or not?
Well, here's the thing, and this is where it gets a little murky. Trading based on this type of information is actually completely legal for politicians.
Wait, really? So even if it seems a little ethically questionable, it's technically within the rules?
Believe it or not, yes. There are currently no laws preventing politicians from using knowledge gained through their official duties when making investment decisions.
Wow. That's interesting, to say the least.
It certainly raises some eyebrows.
It does. But we're not here to judge. We're here to understand.
Precisely. And what I'm gathering from all of this is that Pelosi is playing the long game.
She's not after a quick buck. She's strategically investing in industries, like cybersecurity, that have huge growth potential, just like she did with NVIDIA.
Absolutely. This isn't about chasing trends. It's about identifying the future.
And she seems to be doing a pretty good job of it so far.
She certainly got people talking. And it's not just about cybersecurity as a whole. The video goes a bit deeper, highlighting PNW's focus on using AI.
Oh, so they're incorporating artificial intelligence into their cybersecurity measures.
Exactly. They're not just reacting to threats. They're using AI and machine learning to anticipate and neutralize them before they can even happen.
That's incredible. They're basically creating a digital immune system.
Precisely. It's cutting-edge technology and a total game changer in the fight against cybercrime.
And I'm guessing that's another reason why Pelosi's so interested.
It's a safe bet. She seems to have her finger on the pulse of technological advancements.
She's definitely one step ahead. But hold on. The video throws in another curveball. Some analysts believe that PNW could be a prime target for acquisition. Wait, are we talking about a potential buyout? Another company swooping in and acquiring P&W.
That's the idea. And if that were to happen, well, let's just say Pelosi's call options would be looking pretty sweet.
Talk about a power move. She's thinking miles ahead.
It seems that way. But before we get too caught up in a potential tech takeover, let's circle back to those call options for a second.
Yeah, you're right. We've thrown that term around a lot, but some of our listeners might be wondering, what exactly are call options, and why is Pelosi using them instead of buying regular P&W stock?
Great question. And the video does a good job of breaking it down. It essentially boils down to this. A call option gives you the right, but not the obligation, to buy a stock at a specific price within a certain time frame. Think of it like this. You're putting a down payment on a house.
So you're controlling a much larger asset with a smaller upfront investment.
You got it. That's the beauty of leverage. You have the potential for significantly larger gains compared to buying the stock directly.
But doesn't that also come with greater risk?
There's always risk in the stock market, no matter what. With call options, the most you can lose is the premium you paid for the option, like losing your deposit on that house we were talking about.
So if the stock price tanks, you're not stuck holding the bag.
Exactly. You're only out the premium, which makes it a calculated risk.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's like a high-risk, high-reward kind of play.
You could say that. And when you look at Pelosi's track record with Nvidia, Microsoft, Tesla, even her bet on Roblox, she seems to have a knack for making these calculated risks pay off.
She's definitely not afraid to make a bold move.
That's for sure. But let's shift gears for a moment. We've been dissecting Pelosi's moves, but what can our listeners, the everyday investors, take away from all of this?
Right, because we don't all have access to those congressional briefings.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean we can't learn from the best. One of the biggest takeaways, even for us, is the importance of understanding which sectors are primed for growth, just like Pelosi has done with cybersecurity and tech.
So it's not just about picking individual stocks. It's about recognizing those larger economic trends.
Precisely. It's about identifying those industries with long-term potential, like riding a wave.
So it's like catching those waves at just the right moment.
Exactly. And while we might not have those congressional briefings on speed dial, we can still do our homework, right?
Absolutely. Research is key.
It's everything. Look for those sectors that are aligning with long-term trends like sustainable solutions or the rise of e-commerce, things like that.
It's about connecting the dots, finding those links between global shifts and smart investments, just like that video did with Pelosi's committee assignments and her investment choices.
Exactly. It all comes back to informed decision-making. And you know what else the video really highlighted?
What's that?
The why behind an investment. It's just as crucial as the what.
So it's not enough to just jump on the bandwagon because everyone else is.
Yeah.
You really need to understand the fundamentals, right?
Don't just chase the hype. Understand the business, the industry, the factors driving its growth. Basically know why you're putting your money there.
Exactly. Have a solid investment thesis. Don't just tell me it's going up. Tell me why you think it's going up.
Exactly. That's what separates the seasoned investors from the gamblers.
Well said. And, that's what we're all about here on ProTicker Informed Investing is smart investing.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, folks, there you have it. We dove deep into the world of political investing, explored Nancy Pelosi's strategy, and hopefully gleaned some wisdom along the way.
We saw firsthand how crucial a deep understanding of specific sectors, a long-term perspective, and a commitment to informed decision-making can be.
And while we may not all have the same access as a former Speaker of the House, we can all strive to be savvier, more strategic, and more thoughtful investors.
Absolutely. That's the real takeaway.
On that note, we'll leave you to ponder the possibilities. Until next time, keep those minds sharp, those portfolios growing, and as always, thanks for joining us on the Pro Ticker Podcast.